Hey everybody, the Critter Keeper here. In this video I'm actually going to show you my office. Now that might sound a little bit strange. You're thinking, why do we want to see his office? Well, I thought I'd give you a tour around my office because it is quite an interesting office. It's not just the place where I do all my work, organise bookings, events and parties, and also edit my YouTube videos, but it's also home to some other critters, these guys here. And I'm going to talk to you about them in just a second, because these are pretty neat critters that I've got in there. But first of all, I thought I'd show you, this is my desk, this is where I do all my work, and there's a picture of me and Rocket the raccoon up there, Crimmit over here, we pan around, and we've got actually here is some press cuttings, so it's whenever I've been in the paper, some articles there. Then we've got my sofa where I can do some work as well, and up there Smaug, picture of Smaug, and then we've got the fish tank. But let's talk about the fish tank. This is my marine tank. Let me just steady it up here. There we go. This is my marine tank. So it's a saltwater tank, and it's like a mini reef. Lots of organisms that live there in this little mini reef in my office. Corals, inverts. So I'm going to talk about some of the animals that we've got here. So first of all, let's start off with the fish. The big yellow fish there, she's going to go around the back. Yeah, he always is a bit shy, that fish. That's a yellow tang. And then we've got 5 of these. They look like blue fish, but they're actually green. They're called green chromis. They are schooling fish. So they're pretty neat. When the light shines on them, it's really, really cool. And then we've got the 2 Nemos, yeah, the clownfish. So they're really, really cool fish. So a couple of clowns. And then we've got 2 more fish. This one down here, this is a chalk gobby. He's actually hiding underneath the rock. He likes to bury in the sand. You can see he's made a hole under that rock and he's pulled all the sand up. But these guys are good at cleaning the sand, so he needs to clean this area here. He will eventually get around to that. So they're sand filter feeder fish. So they basically filter the sand grains through their gills and eat all the stuff, they get the goodness out of it. And we've got this blue fish here. This is a yellow-tailed damsel. He's quite neat. And then we've got some inverts as well. So there's quite a few inverts in here. And there are this big bristleworm fan. So it's basically filtering the water again, and it lives in that tube. It's a worm, quite a good filter feeder. There's a large shrimp somewhere in here, cleaner shrimp, I'm not sure. I haven't seen him for a while. He's there somewhere. We'll see if he turns up. And we're going to talk about some of the other things here. So we've got some. There's also a lot of snails. Now you see. Oh, here we go. Here's a. There you go, down there. Hermit crab. He looks like he's waiting to switch shells because there's quite a few empty shells. You can see I put empty shells in there for the hermit crab. There's probably about 10 hermit crabs in here, various different types. Blue-legged ones, like this one climbing up the rock, and there's another one at the top there. It's not moving. There's red-legged hermit crabs. And then we've got some snails. There's quite a lot of snails. Snail on the back there. There's a few snails buried themselves in the sand. There again, sand shifting snails. Turbo snails, and that's about it for invert. Oh no, there's a starfish somewhere in here as well. There's a red spotted starfish somewhere. The last time I saw it, it was on this rock. This rock here somewhere. But I can't seem to see. It's quite big. It's about maybe about this big. Let's see now. Corals. Got a few corals. We'll start off with the. Let's see. Start off with the. Let's see. The soft corals. These guys. This one's sulking, unfortunately, because he's got a couple of little bits sticking out. But the 2 of them are sulking. It's because they shut themselves down. And it's as they grow, they shrink down to help grow, and then they come back out again. So these two are soft coral called mushrooms. Then we've got another soft coral here. This is a bush coral. Basically looks like a bush here. We've got this is a hard coral. It seems to have gone and shrunken in itself. There we go. It's like a polyp, but it comes out. It was out earlier on, but they're all kind of individually shrunk into themselves again. Then we've got this coral here, which again it's shrinking a little bit as the days goes on. It's called the Duncan's coral, quite neat. We've got a large soft coral here, which is a leather coral, and then we've got some toadstool coral here down the bottom. And oh, forgot about the hammerhead. That's a hammerhead. That's a hard coral there, hammerhead. Now these are frags. The little ones, 1, 2, and 3 are frags, and that little one there as well is a frag that's just like a cutting from a larger coral, and then obviously they'll grow out just like keeping plants, and they'll basically grow into big extra heads and things, and then grow and get bigger. So yeah, so that's my marine tank. Pretty neat, yeah. Obviously it's a little bit more harder to keep marine fish than it is to keep in fresh water, although you have to obviously keep your water parameters right with the fresh water. You've got other things you've got to add with when you're keeping salt water, because obviously salt salinity, things like that. We've got some power heads in here as well. These fans, that obviously gives us the current. There's one up there and there's one there as well, and I'm going to add some more power heads to the tank to give more better flow and allow dead spots, because I believe I think there's a dead spot here. That's why you've got that like, almost like brown stuff on the sand. It's just like some of the food's just sitting there and it's not getting blown away. The rock itself is called live rock, and it's basically full of tiny microorganisms, and some bigger ones as well, like bristle worms, bristle starfish, and some tiny little shrimp. And basically they filter the tank and clean the rock and eat up all the uneaten food, and that's what the snails and the crabs do as well. So it's like a mini organism or a mini bio-marine environment, which is really quite cool. But you still need to obviously do water changes and filter the water as well. So the water, you can see it's coming out the pot here. It's coming out the back end, but it actually goes over this down, and goes down here, and it goes below. I'll give it a little quick look, show you what happens down here. It's a bit dark, but we'll see if we can move the lights on. Here we go. So this is underneath. This is a sump, and basically the water comes down and it goes into different stages. You've got a filter at the back, and then it goes into like a heat chamber. That's where the heat, for the obviously heat in the water, and then you've got this big bad boy thing here. And this is a skimmer, protein skimmer, and that's what basically takes away all the fish poop. And in there is fish poop, basically. Takes all the fatty, oily stuff in the water by taking out bubbles. You'll see if I turn it there. There you go, there's bubbles. That's basically, it creates bubbles and pushes all the fat sticks to the bubbles, and then it overflows and fills up that cup, and then I just need to empty that cup, which is really quite stinky. You wouldn't have thought that fish poop stinks so much. It's horrible. Then it goes into this chamber here, and then back up. We've also got an auto top-up system that Chica the dog is showing you here. This is fresh water. It's RO water. I fill up that. It's actually empty. I need to fill it up, and then it automatically pumps it into this stage here, where it goes back up as a tank. But the fresh water is for evaporation. So obviously there's no top on the top of this tank, so the water does evaporate, but it's just fresh water that evaporates, because salt obviously doesn't evaporate, it stays in the tank. So that's why we put fresh water, not salt water, in the bottom, and then it pumps it back in again, and then it just keeps the cycle, keeps it top up. So that's why it's called an auto top-up system. So it automatically tops up. So that's it. That's my marine tank. I forgot to add as well, there's also an anemone hiding in the back there. And I'm trying to get, it's a bubble tip anemone. I'm trying to get the clownfish to actually host it, because that's where clownfish, they like to live in anemones, and they what you call host it. So, but so far I think it's because their enemy's hiding underneath in that little gap, so they haven't really paid attention. So anyhow, that's my office, that's my marine tank. Chica the dog is getting impatient and is biting my fingers, and so we're going to say goodbye now. Chica, say goodbye. Sit. Say bye-bye. Yeah, so that is my office. That is the fish and the dog. If you've got any questions, leave a comment. If you like the video, give it a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, give it a subscribe. Lots of videos coming soon. I've got better editing software, easier for me to make videos, so you can see I've been churning out a few videos recently. It's a lot quicker, so I'm going to plan on making some more videos soon. If you guys want to give me some ideas on what you would like to see, all the critters, and give us a shout, and I will post them, try my best to post them. But thanks anyway guys, the Critter Keeper over and out. Thank you.